everyone.
Hi,
Welcome back.
everybody. Here we are again. We are day 2 of our couples day week. Yesterday was National Couples Day. We decided that we wanted to extend that for a whole week.
Spread the love.
Because whether you're a couple of coworkers or a couple of friends or a couple or a couple of strangers that love sewing together, doesn't matter. We are celebrating all of it this week.
We are.
Every day this week.
We are. So yesterday we kicked off with one of our biggest and best couple pairings. And what we mean by that is, if you didn't see yesterday we went live and had a fun pairing of 2 of our favorite products that most people probably haven't thought to put together before. And we put them in little mini bundles, calling them perfect pairings. If you go to our website, into that collection, perfect pairings, you'll see all of our little mini perfect couples that we've curated for this week. There's 5. So today is day 2, and we're going to tell you about the second perfect pairing of CutterPillar products that just go and work so well together. I think this one is obvious.
It is a little more. But we haven't really ever put it together like this.
No, but we use them together all the time.
We use them together all the time, but we haven't really, but make sure you guys join us every day this week. We're going to go over and explain each of our perfect pairings every day this week. So we're excited to be with you as usual for that. I'm Melody. I'm in Salt Lake City, Utah at the CutterPillar headquarters. Bethany is with us in Nashville. We love when you guys join us. So thank you so much for doing that. But today, our perfect pairing. So yes, first of all, our collection of perfect pairing items, because we're celebrating couples, couple of friends, couple of sewing club members, couple of coworkers, couple of whatever. We don't care what it is. So if you use the code couple goals on our website, anything in that perfect pairings collection, all of the pairings that we're talking about this week, you can get an additional 20% off of. They are on sale already. They're already on sale a little bit, like we like to do, because I'm the only one in the office. So we're going rogue as we like to do. Yes, that's what we do. So check those perfect pairings out. We are gonna talk about each of them in depth every day this week. So yesterday, like Bethany mentioned, was our Glow Ultra, which is our biggest light board that comes with the self-healing cutting mat, along with our rotating cutting mat, the swivel, that is translucent. So you can use it on top of the Ultra and that light shines through, which is so, so great because, dude, our eyes are not getting better. Light, anywhere we can add light is a good thing. So that was yesterday's. That was the one we talked about yesterday. So if you missed it yesterday, it's live on our YouTube channel. You can go check it out. But today,
I will say they're already on sale if you didn't notice, but then you use the code couple goals and you get another 20% off of this, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But today's is what, Melody?
So today's is our super fun one. It's one of our coolest products. Like, I almost said our favorite again, because I say that all the time, and it's true. But this, I will tell you a little story about this product. When our product development team first came up with this, and I was like, this is dumb. There's already cutting mats. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? And then the prototypes came in, and I lost my mind with how cool it is. I lost my mind. I will tell you that I now do not have any other cutting mats in my house, except for the ones that come with my light boards. I do not have any other regular cutting mats in my house at all anymore, because this is the thing. I had a lot of great standard size, big size cutting mats, right? And I changed my craft room into my daughter's bedroom for a while, and then I changed it into my husband calls it the magazine room. My daughter calls it the martini room. So we have different names for it at my house. I decorated it with my stuff, how I liked it. No one's allowed to go in there. I mean, they're allowed to go in there. It's kind of a walk-through room of our house, right? And my husband's allowed to go in there and he can have a drink in his hand, but he is not allowed to eat in there. So he avoids the room at all costs.
There are rules to this oasis.
There's rules in the magazine room
for herself. It's her escape.
Yes, because it's like the only room in the house that stays It's a sanctuary. Like when I work from home, I'll go in there and work. It's a calm
retreat.
Yes. So I do not have a dedicated craft room anymore, is long story short. I don't have it anymore. So this mat is now perfect for me to be able to take out and use in whatever room that I need to be doing my stuff and put it back away. When I had those cutting mats, when I first changed over the room and I had those other cutting mats, trying to find a place to store them because I couldn't leave them out was super challenging for me, because I would start leaning them against the wall, behind the shelf, behind the table, behind the couch, whatever.
And it takes 2 seconds. 2 seconds of leaning it against something that warps it. And then it's so hard to get it to be flat again. Ask me how I know.
Tell us if that's happened to you guys, because it has happened to me so many times. Or I get a little crack in it and it never lays flat again, or whatever. Like
I made the mistake of sitting an iron that I thought had cooled off on top of my other cutting mat, not my CutterPillar one, another one. And I had set it there because I was switching out my ironing station. So it was just there for a minute. I have a bubble in that mat, and it's on the edge. It drives me nuts. I'm so annoyed with myself.
Yeah.
There's nothing I could do about it. No. And I spent stupid money on that thing.
See, and that fast.
Gone. Ruined.
Yes.
It's heartbreaking. So it's frustrating, but I think our mats have definitely eliminated that. So let's tell them what the bundle is, and then we'll showcase the 2 products and kind of dive in and why we chose to pair them together.
That sounds great.
So for day 2, the bundle for the perfect pairing for our couple is the Flip and Fold 48 and the clamp light. So we went with our biggest Flip and Fold and our small little clamp light, and we just feel like they just are adorable together, and they
are adorable together. And Bethany's going to show you exactly why they go so good together in just a minute. And I'm going to first show you how this Flip and Fold actually works, because it is so very cool. Like we talked about how it's hard to know where to store all of our cutting mats, all of our different, and how many do you have? Like how many different sizes of cutting mats do we all have? Like we have big ones that we leave at home. We have little ones that we take with us to sewing retreats or expos or classes.
And how many times do you not have the right size?
And you never have the right size. Yeah, you never have the right size. You never have the one that you need, because oh my gosh, I just can't even tell you. I love this one so very much. Okay, so I'm going to flip my overhead camera, and this is the thing about, so this is our Flip and Fold 48. So this starts out at, your grid is 11 by 17. Now the mat is a little bit bigger than that, because it has about a ½ inch all the way around. But so the cutting area is 11 by 17, not the entire mat. A lot of times when you get a mat that says it's 24 by 36, or it says it's 18 by 24, that's the totalness of the mat. So you can't really measure 18 inches on those or 24 inches on those. So this, we made it a little bit bigger. So you've got your 11 by 17 on here. Now, the thing that's so great about this mat, one of the things, there's several, but one of the things is it's actually 5 different mat sizes in one. So we talk about not having the correct mat size when you go to a class or a friend's house or a retreat or an expo. This way you do. We talk about having to decide which cutting mat you're going to pull out at home to find the right one for the project you're working on. And it's inevitable that you're in the middle of something and you needed a different size cutting mat. You just have to fold this one and you have that. So you start out at 11 by 17. Now there's these little puzzle pieces on either side. And so the rule of thumb to opening this mat is just there is one puzzle piece on this side and there are 2 puzzle pieces on this side. Always start where the side where there are 2 puzzle pieces. Flip this open just like a book. And then voila, your mat just doubled in size. So this is 17 by 22 inch grid. It's a little bit bigger because of this puzzle hole. So you can cut over the 22, but you've got 17 by 22 measuring here. So you can do a lot of stuff. This is a great one to take to classes and retreats, because it's perfect for what you might need right here. But let's say you're sitting next to a friend at a class or a retreat, and you need a little bit more space. I'm going to find this here because I'm going to need to zoom out. So I needed to get the little camera thing here. So this is your 17 by 22. Then if you flip it over and open it, now you have 17 by 48. Let me zoom this out just a little bit so you guys can see. This will cover this entire table. So you've got 17 by 22. I talked about how there's those little puzzle pieces. So when you have little puzzle pieces and you're opening your mat up, just make sure that you snap that puzzle piece down flat and then you can cut right across all of this. Now, what we did, I'm going to zoom back in so you guys can see this a little bit closer. What we did was where you've got your split in the mat where it pieces together, it is off center by your cut lines. So you don't have to worry about cutting through there because your inch line is right to the side of that. So you are totally good to do that. You can cut all the way across. Because those puzzle pieces snap, it stays nice and flat and nice and smooth. So this is a really great size. This is a great size for cutting your strips because you've got 48 inches by 17 inches. You don't have to have a big giant mat, but you can cut your strips right along this. I was cutting a little area rug to cover up my foyer tile because it was tile from the 70s that my dad put in to this house I live in that my grandfather and my dad built when he was a kid. And I didn't love it. And so I wanted to get rid of it. But I didn't want to cut it out. I didn't want to chip it out. I didn't want to go to all that work. So I covered it up with an area rug that I got, and it was too big. And so I set this on the carpet next to the little foyer. I was able to cut the carpet down on this and keep it right next to the area that I was working on. So I didn't have to like pick it up and go back and come back and measure it and go back and forth and whatever. So I was able to do that. Now, not that these 3 sizes that I showed you aren't cool enough. This one will open another. So I'm going to try to zoom this out again. This will open up to 36 by 48, guys. This is an amazing size. This will do all of your stuff. And again, just make sure your puzzle pieces are all snapped together, and then you can use this whole entire thing. We've got your angles on here. We've got, if you look at the measuring tape part of it at the bottom here, we have our 1/8, 1/4, 3/8, 1/2, 5/8, 3/4, 7/8 all spelled out for you because I hate doing the math on those, you guys. I hate doing the math.
The little lines.
Try to count
remembering which one is which.
Which one is which.
Can we also point out that the big numbers, the 1-inch numbers, those are on the outside of the grid. So when your fabric is lined up along the edge, you can still see where the numbers are, which is a huge thing. Most cutting mats have all the numbers on the inside of the grid.
Right. And so you're doing this, right? You're doing
kind of, yeah. So I love that we have this attention to detail to so many things that makes it stand out from other cutting mats, on top of the fact that it folds into 5 different mats. It's portable, easy to store, won't warp, all these amazing features. Like if that wasn't enough, these little details right here is just,
well, and look, amazing. Like this is the other thing. Like when I do angles, they're usually like here, and like you said, your fabric will usually cut them off. It's like they're big and they're here, so you can see your angle things.
I use those for when I'm cutting things on the bias to do bias strips. Now, Melody, before you fold that up, open that up again, because there's one more size to this mat that we forget to showcase sometimes.
Because I'm so bad at it.
You've got this, girl. This is my favorite way to use not only the flip and fold 48, but the flip and fold 36 is by once you open it all the way. That's size number 4, but size number 5.
Okay, I'm going to try to do this the way you told me to do this.
Okay. Flip it in half. It just folds in half.
Fold it over in half that way, right? So you're right. This is how you do it. And then you can fold it in half this way.
There you go. And then make sure your puzzle pieces are connected. And this is the size that I use the most.
This way. Yeah. Because if you do it this way, then you've got your 0 mark again.
And that is
you can cut on the other side also. But when you've got this, that's the other thing about all of these different size mats. They all the measurements start over again at 0. Yeah. Which is really great. So
push this puzzle piece down for me.
Yeah.
Just see how like crisp that gets. There's 2 and you do both of them. I love folding it in half and getting that size because it's like the perfect size. And I do this with both of our flip and folds, the 36 and the 48. They just work so well. And it's just so nice. There you go.
There we snapped it in. There we go.
That one's a little harder to snap because you're snapping 2
of them,
each other. But once you snap one, then the other one snaps together. And then you still have your angles. And you can turn this different directions. This is such a good size for any tabletop. And then when you need to go big, you can. But like, this is like a great size.
I'm going to cut right across, guys.
24 by 36.
Yep. I'm going to cut right across here. Here we go. I'm doing it. I'm cutting it right across all of the seams and the.
You don't even see the seams.
No, you don't. It's you cut straight across. It's so lovely. The other thing about this mat, guys, is that it is. Oh, there they are. I'm going to grab a little thing. The thing about this mat is that it's, first of all, it's non-toxic, right? Most of our mats are made out of rubber and PVC. This is a material called TPE. So if you do ever need to, not that you would, but if you do ever need to laser cut it, it's not going to be toxic. The fumes won't be toxic, right? But the other thing is that it's heat resistant. Now, Bethany mentioned earlier that she set an iron on top of a cutting mat. If you do that, you're gonna don't do that. Don't do that. But how many of us have left our cutting mats in the back of our cars? And when we get them out,
look at this.
This is what they look like.
Or you stand it up on its side for even just a second. I mean, when I say I put an iron on top of my expensive, really fancy cutting mat that I had, like it wasn't even a hot iron. It wasn't even on. I thought it had cooled down enough for me to sit it there for a second.
Right.
And that was not the case. And it looked just like this, like that blue one, that square one. It looks warped like that. And right along the edge where you can't use it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. So we did a little test when we first came out with these. We did a little test. These are just standard mats, guys. These are just standard mats that you get. I won't talk about what company they're from. You can probably guess by looking at them. But we put these two mats as well as a piece of our flip and fold mat in the hot car in the Utah summer, last summer in the Utah summer. Listen, it gets 80, 90, 100 degrees here in Utah. We have a very dry heat. We left these out and this is how they came back. This is how they came back. They were in the car for a couple of hours because we've all done this. We've all done this to our mats by leaving them in the car. But this is how our flip and fold mat came back. This is how the flip and fold came back.
And that was just one layer of it. So you don't even need the whole thing to keep it flat. Like this is just how the material is made. So it's different material. It doesn't show your cut marks. It's self-healing. It folds. It won't warp in the heat if you leave it in a car. Like I travel to Sewing Club every Saturday or one Saturday a month, every month. And I'm going it's this weekend and I'm like, I love this so much. But it's like, I get nervous in the summer because here we get into the 90s with like 70% humidity and it feels like 115. And it never has I don't ever have to worry about my flip and folds. Yeah. Never. Never. I love it.
And like I said, and I say it all the time, I don't have any other cutting mats in my house anymore. This is the one I have. I can pull it out and use it for whatever size I need. I can take it with me to an expo or an event, or Bethany takes it to Sewing Club. Because then you have all the sizes you might need if you want to travel with it.
And if you're sewing with others, and this is what I do at Sewing Club, I share it. So like I open it up to the biggest setting and then people can stand on either side of the table and both cut at the same time because it's so big, which I love. And it's so great. And then I can take the mini and just have that set up next to me or share with the person sitting between,
right. Because that size, when you open it up to the like 17 by 48, because a lot of times those tables are like 2 feet wide by 8 feet long or whatever. When you've got 17 by 48, two people can sit side by side and use the same mat, which is such a great thing.
It's great. Now I'm going to showcase what the other product is and our perfect pairing for today. And that is our clamp, which I set it down somewhere. I'm like, where is it? It's right here in front of me. And I'm going to showcase our clamp light because I think it's one of, there's Melody. Let me go back. I got to switch which cameras.
You got to change it. There we go.
I'm forget sometimes. Okay. So this is our clamp light. And you're probably thinking, why would you want to pair this with the flip and fold? Because you use the clamp light with any ruler that you have that is wide enough. Now this is a 3-inch ruler and I can use it with my 3-inch ruler. It works just perfectly fine. It does have a light, so it casts like the perfect shadow. The only thing is with my 3-inch ruler is it hangs over the edge. So if you are going to use it on a ruler that's smaller than 3.5 inches, you just need to make sure you clamp it so that you can still go through there. Okay. But it's really great. And it showcases its use with some bigger rulers. So here's a square ruler and I can stick it anywhere I want. And now I've got my ruler. I can line it up and then I can cut. So I absolutely love it. Now, here's some things that I like to call out about this clamp light. One, obviously it has a light. So it creates this visibility. You get this nice little casted shadow right along the edge. So when you go to cut, you can follow that line, right? Really great. But one of the things that I love to say is if you have ever cut yourself with a rotary cutter, and I have done it horribly, and it's so painful, keeping your hand elevated off your ruler is going to prevent that damage from happening. So let me share, I'm going to show you exactly what I did. And I did this at my last job while I was at work in the office. And I was cutting, and I was just like, you know, going and going. And I was on a mat that slipped and slid. It wasn't a stationary mat. And I was using a different ruler and a different rotary cutter that I'm comfortable with. And I'm over here going, and by the way, this is closed. I'm not going to truly reenact this, but I was going like this. I had to push down with so much weight into my palm to keep things from moving that my hand was right here, and I slipped and I went right over my knuckle, and I just, it's painful. And I was at work. Okay. So I was kind of like by myself that day. Like I had one other person there, and I'm like holding it going, I need the first aid kit. Do we have first aid kits? Like, this is not good, but I had to keep working. But anyways, so to help prevent that, and to also help with, like, you know, you have to stand up and really push down, and that really causes issues in your wrist and hands. A lot of people who have done a lot of quilting and cutting and sewing over the years, including like my mom, have experienced issues with this joint and all of that, and my mom's had to have surgery on it. Like, it can be really rough. If you have arthritis, it can be really hard. And so to be able to use a clamp light, not only am I getting to elevate my hand for safety, but now my hand is at a more like flat level, kind of like when they say when you go to type on a keyboard, you don't want to type like this because that's bad for your wrist. You want your wrist to be nice and level. Same thing. We want to keep our wrist and our arm nice and level. This gives us also more control with less pressure. We don't have to push down so hard. There's no pressure in my palm. I don't have to grip this super hard. It does have little grippies for your hands on the bottom and top, and it keeps my wrist nice and level and my hand elevated so I can easily just cut right there. Okay. And I'm sitting down. It is not easy to cut fabric sitting down. I'm usually someone who cuts fabric standing up because I like to really like have some force. That's just me, but I don't have to. I can sit down and cut, which is really, really nice. Now, let me talk to my lefties out there. It's the same on both sides. So if you're a lefty and you need to cut with your left hand and hold this with your right hand, you just flip it over and do it. It's so easy, and it works for everybody. It does have the light. As you can see, it casts like the perfect shadow. It has a couple of light settings, so you can choose how bright you need to use it. It does show you right here on the top. Let me take it off. It shows you right here when you need to charge it. So it shows you, like, I probably need to charge mine. I use it all the time. I've got 2 little dots out of 4, and you just plug it in and charge it. It has a little charging port right here. It's rechargeable. You just make sure this is up. Your little clamp is up. Set it down wherever you want it to go. Push that down, and it's secure. It's so simple, but it is so helpful. And it's a safety precaution. If you have kids that want to like get into cutting and start using a rotary cutter, this is what they need to start with, because it's going to keep them safe. So I cannot recommend this enough. And it works so well with our cutting mats because you're going to be cutting on our cutting mat. So you can pick your ruler, pick whichever one you want to use, any size, as long as it's wider than the base of this, and you can stick it to anything. And it's super, super fun, super helpful, super safe. I take this with me to sewing club every month because I don't want anyone to get hurt at sewing club. And so and we also don't have the best lighting at our cutting area at sewing club. It's kind of dark in the corner where we put that table. And so having this extra light so they can see where they're cutting is great. Now, this is a long ruler. I do like to point out that this is a 24.5-inch ruler. This is a long ruler. So the light is kind of like going in this zone, but if I need more light here and here, that's where you get 2 of these. This is why they're so amazing, because you can use more than one. You can put one here, and have light all the way down. And that way, when you're cutting, I can start on this one, cut, and then I can have my second one just move my hand and cut and keep cutting all the way down the length of my ruler. So again, one is never enough with these. I love them. So I recommend getting more than one. But if you don't have one yet and you're like, I don't know how much I'll use it, but I think I'll like it and it looks like a good idea, this is the time to get it in our perfect pairing with the Clamp Light and our Flip and Fold 48. They are a match made in heaven.
They really are. They really are. Like Bethany was saying how she likes to cut sitting, like you can cut sitting down. Typically you cut standing up.
Yeah.
Because like when you're sitting down, like she said, you want to save your wrist from the carpal tunnel. But when you're standing up and you're doing it and you're holding it down, you're using this muscle to hold your ruler down instead of your wrist or your fingers.
Your arm muscles,
you're using this. You're using your lats instead of your wrist. And so that helps keep, like it helps, especially if you have any arthritis in your wrist, it helps that so much. It helps keep getting them super like I feel like after I do a lot of cutting, if I'm not using this, I get like my arms, my wrists are just tired. Like I just need to, but so when you're using these muscles instead, it's so great. Yeah.
And this is a really strong suction. Like, I don't know if you've seen it on other lives, but I will stick this to the glass mat, the tempered glass mat that we use, and it'll pick it up. Like it's a good suction. You know how like some of these suction cups, you have to lick it and then stick it. You don't have to do that. You just, and it's not some hard thing. You just stick it and push this down. There is a little tab right here that helps you kind of release it. And it's so easy to release, but it has a really good suction. I literally can pick up the glass mat with it.
And the glass mat is like 4.5 pounds on its own.
It's heavy. And that's just with
4.5 pounds.
So highly recommend, if you already have the Flip and Fold, just maybe grab this. But if you don't have either, this is the perfect pairing. Or maybe you want to get, maybe you already have this and you want to get the Flip and Fold and maybe get a second one of these or gift one of these to a crafty friend. Like that's the whole point of this week, is sharing the love. So maybe you already have one of these items in our perfect pairings, but we're pairing it with something that you can easily afford to have like a second one of, because I need more than one of these. Then this is a great time to kind of stock up or buy some gifts.
It is, especially like Bethany says, if you typically use longer rulers, it's great to have a couple of these. It's really great to have a couple of these. This is
my most used ruler.
Yeah.
Is this long one. Because I cut a lot of strips and everything. And then my second most used one is this one, which is also long. So again, you cannot go wrong with having more than one of these.
Yes. But this week is our perfect pairing week because today's Tuesday. This is our second perfect pairing day. Yesterday was National Couples Days. So whether we are celebrating a couple of coworkers, a couple of friends, a couple of sewing pals, whatever, or a fiance or a husband or a wife or whatever, that's fine too.
Or your coworker like Melody and I.
Yeah, like
perfect pairing.
Perfect pairings here. All of that. This perfect pairing is the Flip and Fold 48 with the Clamp Light. We've paired together. It's already discounted a little bit on the website. You can use that code Couple Goals to get an additional 20% off of this today. And we're celebrating couples all week. So make sure you guys come back tomorrow because we're going to go over our third perfect pairing of the week for tomorrow, Wednesday, same time, same channel, same place. But we're loving the couple goals this week. We're doing couple goals. We're perfect pairing it all. It's National Couples Day yesterday, but we're celebrating it for the whole week.
We wanted to spread the love out a little longer. And why not? We all need a little extra love in our lives. There's never a time where we don't. So we just wanted to spread the love and also showcase our products paired together in different ways and make some little mini curated bundles just to spread that love to you guys with this deal. So we will be back tomorrow, same time, same place with a new couple pairing.
Yes. See you guys tomorrow.